was the first year of the first international karate championships held in Long Beach, and my job was to make sure that Bruce Lee, Ed Parker gave me a certain amount of money to make sure he ate properly and make sure he got back to the hotel room, sort of like his host. And I met him then and grew to really like his personality, and we became very close friends. When Bruce arrived in the United States, he had the training in Wu-style Tai Chi, sometimes in Hong Kong they call it Unga, and he had the, of course, training in Western boxing. He had training in fencing from his brother, that's epee, that goes from toe to head. He had training, obviously, in Wing Chun, and the other area was the training he had received in, they call it Buk Pai, or it's Tam Toi. He knew 12 sets in Tam Toi. And then believe he traded with a Choi Li Fat man. So those were the arts that Bruce brought into the United States. What Jun Fan was basically, I think its base system was probably Wing Chun. And thrown in with ideas that he picked from Savate, Muay Thai, as he saw it, as he observed, thrown in with various different Kung Fu systems and Western boxing with Jiu-Jitsu and different things he had learned from different grappling arts from China. And that's the basis of Jun Fan. The liberation of Jun Fan, we get into now what we call Jeet Kune Do. For an example, to expand on what Jeet Kune Do is, Jeet Kune Do is a very personal thing. Therefore, it is not really a product. Rather, it's a process. It's a process of becoming, and you're constantly changing. The only thing you can be sure about time is it's constantly changing, even the ideas. Okay? So Jeet Kune Do, for an example, if I had one student, he might incorporate only 20%, let's say, Western boxing, as another student might really like it, so he'll use 80% Western boxing. Another person might incorporate 100% Muay Thai. Another person might not like the training, so he might incorporate 10. That's strictly up to him. A person might incorporate grappling. Let's say there's three persons. One person might not incorporate any of it. Another person would incorporate maybe 10%. Another person 50, another person maybe 80% of it. But what is important, that he is exposed to that particular discipline. The way I'm moving now, I use the discipline to develop attributes. That's the key thing, because I believe, like Tai Chi Chuan, for an example, it has a lot of good characteristics that I like. You know, it sort of calms the system down. And it has balance, it promotes balance, and it has good body control when you do it. Muay Thai, the advantage I think there is that they are really, as far as conditioning in the martial art, I consider them to be the most highly conditioned martial arts out there. So I like to incorporate that aspect of it. I leave my students to say, well, do they like the training in Muay Thai better than they like the training in Bando or so on. I allow my students to choose what they like, what they want to do, and what art that they want to gravitate to. And I think this is important. Just as when people go through public school, you should give them a base study course, but you allow them after they come out to pick what they want, whether they want to concentrate on music more, or art, or on math, or on science. So Jeet Kune Do is just the same thing. You concentrate on your effort. A Jeet Kune Do technique can be a boxer's left jab, it could be a boxer's left hook, it could be a boxer's uppercut, and it could be a cross. It could be a Muay Thai kick on the thigh. It could be an elbow from Muay Thai, it could be a knee from Muay Thai. It could be a wrist lock from Jiu-Jitsu or Aikido. It's whatever works. So a Jeet Kune Do technique, you can't really classify a Jeet Kune Do technique. And the way of in the realm that Bruce had it, it's absorbing what is useful for you. Since it is not a style, we use maybe certain disciplines to get certain attributes, to develop certain things. So there is no Jeet Kune Do technique as per se, as the way he founded the idea. Okay? Many people refer to it as a style, but it's not a style because it's not a style as a product. And as he used to tell me, it is a process. It's just a process of constant growth. And what is Jeet Kune Do for you now might not be Jeet Kune Do for you 6 years down the line because of age, because of time, a factor of training and things of that nature. Jeet Kune Do now, since there's a lot of disciples that came from Bruce, and I have a lot of students, each is developing it in the way that they think it should be developed. Some people don't want to come out, they want to stay in the garage and teach 1 or 2 or 3 students, that's fine too. Others want to promote it more, get it into the limelight a little bit more, and that's fine too. Like, for an example, Daniel Lee, he teaches Jeet Kune Do, but his main thrust is Tai Chi Chuan. He promotes it through Tai Chi Chuan. As Richard Bustillo is more into Western boxing, he's more into kickboxing. He takes that aspect of Jeet Kune Do and tries to push that aspect. Larry Hartzell is more into what we call Filipino Dumog, which is grappling, or Layog, which is another form of Filipino grappling, and mixing in with little Chinese Chin-Au here and there, and Western wrestling, and some things from Jiu-Jitsu and some things from Aikido that he's integrated for himself. So Jeet Kune Do, the only worry that I have is that some of these people might lead their disciples down one particular path and say, this is Jeet Kune Do, and my Jeet Kune Do is the way Bruce would have had it. Then my person might say, no, it's in the kickboxing, and it's in the Thai boxing, and it's in the wrestling. This is the way Bruce would have had it, okay? That's the only danger that I see. Bruce did hand out certain techniques, but they were used to illustrate a certain point when you might use this at a particular range. And the thing that he used to tell me, there are certain weapons that are good for certain ranges. Like a grenade, you wouldn't use it 5 feet away from you. You might use a dagger. A staff, you might use it for a little bit shorter distance. A grenade would be good maybe if there's a machine gun nest out there 50 yards, and that would be the time to use it. There are certain techniques that are good for certain circumstances. Once a man crashes in and he's in grappling range, you should use it. So there are some people who don't believe in the grappling range, but if you look at any professional boxing match or kickboxing match, they within 2 to 3 kicks or 3 or 5 punches, they're already in clinching range. So you should have a grappling art. You can't afford not to learn it. Okay, some people say, well, I'll finish it all in kicking range, I'll finish it all. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that every system or discipline has its time and place. For an example, Bruce used to ask me, he said, Dan, what's the best way of travel? I says, 747, jet, United Airlines, possibly. He says, well, if you're going across the street, the jet wouldn't be very much use, would it? If you wanted to go 2 or 3 blocks, maybe a bicycle might be better than the car. And if you're in the jungles of Amazon, he says, the Porsche that McQueen drives isn't any good because he can't use it under that environment.